So, with Eden Hazard admitting he is undecided whether or not he'd like to stay at Chelsea or go to Real Madrid, perhaps, as I say, unsurprisingly, Chelsea have let it be known they will do whatever they can to keep their man. Gentlemen, a very simple question. What can they do?
The problem you've got is Real Madrid. That's the problem you have, and I don't care who you are, what type of footballer you are, Barcelona, Real Madrid, you get mentioned with them, you think, how good would it be to play in that level or that football, iconic football club. I don't think it's monetary or anything like that. It's the size of the football club that you could be potentially walking into.
I mean, I think everybody would accept that Real Madrid are one of that special group, and it's no disrespect to Chelsea at all. So what can Chelsea do? And it's not going to be money, because they're at a level now where how much difference does that really make to your life?
Well, the only thing that they can do is obviously offer him a new contract and better his wages. That's it. They can't promise him trophies. They can lay a footprint down to say, you know, this is where we're going to look to be in the next 2 or 3 years, or the signings that's going to come in, or the backing. But when you go to or linked to a club like Real Madrid, you know, you're near enough guaranteed top trophies. You know, like they've won the Champions League, is it 3 years on the bounce? So, you know, for someone that's looking to continue playing at the highest level and win the ultimate prizes, then it's going to be a hard one to not turn down.
The fact that the player clearly is enjoying his football at Chelsea, and from what we understand, loves London as well, that should give Chelsea more than a glimmer of hope, shouldn't it?
Well, it certainly should, because he's a Chelsea player at this moment in time. There's a tick list I've got down here: money, trophies, family happiness, the player's desire to leave. Whether he's got it in his head and he thinks to himself, look, at the end of my career, will I sit back and regret never going to play wherever it may be, wherever he wants to go and play? That's something only the player knows. For me, it's big man management skills of Sarri now to make sure he is the happiest player there, because I think if he walks out of Chelsea's dressing room, it blows Chelsea out of the water for this immediate moment of time in their history, because he is the one player that I think he is the key player to Chelsea personally. If Manchester City come knocking and said, we want him, what would that do to Chelsea's mentality? What would that do to Manchester City? We're talking about him going to Real Madrid. What if Manchester City or Liverpool come knocking? What would happen then if they financially could match a buyout clause in his contract?
You're talking about number 10s. For me, he's the best player with a standing start with the ball. That's how good I think he is. When he squares you up and he stops the ball at his feet, he's the quickest I've seen. I said before, I played against Georgie Hadji, that I've never seen anybody move the ball as quick as him from a standing start. This guy reminds me of him, just the way he plays. This is just world class. You hold your hand up to that and think, OK, defensively, no great, but what a goal that is. He's top draw.
I mean, I'll be completely honest. I don't want him to leave the Premier League. I want him to stay here.
Yeah.
But no question in your mind, he could easily cut it in a Real Madrid team.
Oh, absolutely. The way that the lad plays the game, as I said before, standing start, when he squares you up, either way, low gravity to the ground. The quickest I've seen with a standing start. And if he went to Real Madrid tomorrow, I wouldn't wake up in my bed and say, oh, that's a surprise. That's how good he is. But
even receiving the ball, I mean, I've been on the pitch with him and marked him. When he receives it, he loves receiving it in tight areas, wants to receive it with people around him, because he's got that sort of big, lower...
Go on, say it.
Dumping is the word he's looking for.
He gets it, he just sort of loves that, he bounces off you. He loves the contact where he can just get a nudge, bounce off you and just go again.
Because of that lower strength?
Yeah, his change of pace... at speed, and his balance, that where he can just shift it, is for me is the best in the world. But when I see him, what I love about him when I see him and watch him play is that he's always got a smile on his face, and he's not as serious as the Ronaldos and Messis. He's always, he seems to be that he could go again. Does that make sense? He seems like he's got another level to sort of go, and the way that he's a team player. I remember watching the West Ham game a few weeks back, and I think he was desperate for Morata to score. I think he went through, then he tried to sort of backheel it or slip Morata in where he could have sort of scored himself. So I think for him to really propel himself to the next level will come down to him to be a man possessed to score more goals as such. But I mean, He's a phenomenal, world-class player.
He just doesn't seem to... I mean, I suppose ego is probably the word. He doesn't seem to possess one, does he? At all, which is rare for a top player, particularly a goal scorer, isn't it?
Well, I mean, as I said, he's always playing with a smile on his face. Whenever you see the cameras on him in the training ground, he knows you could say he's the top boy at Chelsea, doesn't sort of get to his head. So then all the suggestions say, well, why leave? You know, why would you want to leave if you're that happy there? Living in London, the family life is good, then stay and win us the Champions League and get us into Europe and be an absolute legend at the club behind the likes of John Terry, Didier Drogba and Frank Lampard.
Does that lead on to the question, though? Do we think Chelsea over the next 3-4 years are going to go on and win those trophies?
Well, if they won the Premier League this year, it'd be down to him single-handedly.
Yeah.
I mean, the others would obviously play a part, but he would single-handedly win them the Premier League this year.
I think, looking at him, I don't think he'll be happy until he wins the Champions League. He's won the Premier League. Yeah. He's done it twice. I think that one is the one that I think, where they have the better chance. But you're saying...
I'm just devil's advocate.
Absolutely.
Do you think Chelsea can win the Premier League over the next 2 years?
Well, that goes back to what I asked originally. What can they say to him to keep him? Will they be saying to him, look, we are going to be having... Don't worry, we are going to have a right go. Things have changed. You saw what we spent on the goalkeeper. We are building another dynasty here, and we want you to be a big part of that. I also find it intriguing as well what he said. And for a lot of players, you would dismiss it as some sort of PR management. He said, look, I know, whatever... He said, some days I wake up, I want to stay, some days I wake up, I want to go. And he's not trying to quarter move at all. He says, I know, if I stay here, I know I'll be happy. I know if I go there, I'll be happy. And with him, you genuinely believe it, don't you?
I'll take your point, which was a really valid point of... If the move does come and you don't take it, 10, 15, 20 years later, do you sit and think, I should have went to Real Madrid? What an opportunity. That's what he'll have to live with. If that opportunity does come, should have went to Real Madrid and stayed in Madrid and been one of the big iconic clubs. That's the dilemma he'll have.